South African cricketer Quinton de Kock has sensationally withdrawn from the T20 World Cup following his decision not to kneel before yesterday's game against the West Indies. De Kock's refusal to kneel was at odds with direct orders from Cricket South Africa, or the CSA. The Proteas comfortably beat the West Indies by 8 wickets, reaching the target of 144 runs. However, sadly this win was overshadowed by the news of de Kock exiting the tournament under controversial circumstances. CSA have revealed that the 28-year-old's decision not to take a knee was the reason for his withdrawal from yesterday's game, as well as his departure from the T20 World Cup tournament. A statement from the CSA said that the CSA board on Monday had directed the South African players to take a knee in a united and consistent stance against racism prior to the game. In other words, this was a mandatory order from the CSA. The CSA further explained the order to kneel before the game was a global gesture against racism which has been adopted by sportspeople across different sporting codes as they recognise the power of sport to bring people together. De Kock, who is one of the most talented players in world cricket, has previously refused to take a knee before a game, and in June said that he has his own personal opinions for not participating and that those opinions are essentially nobody else's business. The tragic thing about this situation is that there are people who will now assume that de Kock's refusal to participate in this forced gesture is based on a refusal to reject racism. In other words, there are those that will now assume that he is a racist because he did not take a knee before the game. Moreover, the fact that Quinton de Kock is a South African player particularly makes this more controversial given South Africa's checkered history of apartheid. The simple fact is, you cannot force a moral or social stance. CSA is at fault here for making that gesture mandatory. Therefore, CSA has done more to create division than it has to actually bring people together. Furthermore, if an official organisation is going to force a moral stance, then where is the consistency? 2 nights ago, Pakistan defeated India for the first time in a World Cup T20. The history of Pakistan and India is particularly fraught with violence and ill feeling, and cricket matches between the two nations are always passionately supported by the respective fans. But at no point has either cricket board ever forced their respective players to make any sort of gesture or display an attempt to dissolve any geopolitical tension. It's the game of cricket itself that transcends any issue related to race, colour and creed. This is what sporting bodies around the world just don't seem to understand. Forcing social, racial, political or moral positions is a terrible idea. If any gestures are to be made, they should be made through altruism, that is, by the player's own decisions. Any imposed moral position is completely meaningless and does more to divide than it does to unite. In the aftermath of the South African superstar's dramatic exit, Indian commentator Harsha Bogle released a disturbing tweet to his 8.6 million followers saying he would not be surprised if de Kock never plays for South Africa again. If this were to be the case, it would be a loss for world cricket caused by the mistake of, once again, forcing a mixture of sports and politics. If you enjoyed the information contained in this video, then please make sure to like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay across the latest videos from Kalkine. For more information, just head across to the website, kalkinemedia.com. I'm James Preston, reporting for Kalkine.